Authentication 1. So let us see the definition of authentication. Authentication is a process in which a principal proves that he or she is the entity it claims to be. So let us consider the two parties. That is, one side you have prover, at the other end you have verifier. So what is meant by the prover now? Prover is a principal, or suppose you are a client or you are a customer who is going to interact with the website, okay, then you are said to be a prover, okay, who is going to provide the login name and password. Okay, at the other end you have a verifier. Verifier is a party to whom the proof is being submitted for identity verification. So that is a verifier. The authentication may be based on passwords. Okay, usually this is a kind of mechanism we go for, that is using passwords only we may be authenticating. And next kind of authentication may be based on voice, a fingerprint, or a retinal scan, or it may be a DNA samples also. So that is different from the first case. So here voice, if you are providing for authentication, if you are providing voice, fingerprint, or a retinal scan, we call it as a biometric authentication. So here we consider the authentication in a two different manner. That is, you have first kind, you have one-way authentication, and next you have mutual authentication. So let us see what is one-way authentication in the next slide. So first one is one-way authentication. So in client server communications, client authenticates itself to the server. The server may or may not be authenticated to the client. So that is called one-way authentication. For example, you may see such authentication process in the campus network. So maybe in our AITM network itself, you may be using this kind of communications, that is client server communications. Clients you may be considered here as the students or lecturers. Everyone are considered as the client, where there will be one server who will be authenticating you, or verifier. You can call the server as a verifier here. So there are two kinds of one-way authentication, that is password based authentication, and another one you have certificate based authentication. So first one, let us see the password based authentication. Password based authentication. So one of the most common mechanisms to implement the authentication is the password. So we can see this kind of mechanism everywhere. So if you are browsing a particular website, you may be using such mechanisms. Okay, so to log in to a server, a user enters his or her login name and password. The password is secret, that is only known to the user and the server. So let us see the diagram. So here C represents the client, S represents the server. So you can see S is having certain repository here that includes login name and the password. So this repository, which contains login name and password, has the names as Aarti, Adarsh, Alka, and password as some numbers they have given along with the alphanumeric values. So usually we go for alphanumeric values in case of having a password. So same kind is being provided here. So this is the information the particular server has now. Okay, so suppose C wants to communicate to the server. Now C has to send the login name as Alka or any other login names which the repository has. Okay, only that particular login names can be provided here. So login is, now we consider login name as Alka, and password, certain password also she has given. So if this matches, if the login name and password what the client has sent matches with the login name and password of the server, then only the authentication is perfect. Okay, that is one way authentication happens in a proper manner. If suppose some other password is being sent from Alka, then server may deny to provide the access to the particular server. Okay, so this is what happens here. So what is the disadvantage of going for password based authentication? The password is sent in the clear, so an attacker can eavesdrop on the message containing the password and later impersonate the real user. So actually in this case, the password is directly sent without any encryption process. It is directly sent to the server. So an attacker or an intruder may try to get that password, and he may use that password for logging into the particular website or the server. Okay. So second disadvantage is the passwords are stored in unencrypted form in the file on the server. If the internal attacker obtains access to that file, all passwords stored on that server could get compromised. So this is the second disadvantage. So since the passwords are stored in unencrypted form in the file, if suppose the intruder tries to get that particular file, he may use it for some other purpose. Okay, so that is, there are two disadvantages. So next kind is in the same, that is password based authentication itself. So this is another way of storing the password. So you can see login name is same Alka itself, but the password is being changed. You can see that 47 EC, some numbers they have given. But what is this? This is another way of storing the password. This is, we are using here hash of the password. So we are not directly sending the password, because there may be chances that the attacker may get into that password and he may try to impersonate the real user. So that's why they are using the hash of the password. So hash value. So you know already how the hash values are being calculated. Okay, so they may use any algorithm to calculate these hash values also. So here let us see, in the server side you can see that the login name and the corresponding hash of the passwords are being stored in the server. So the cryptographic hash of the password and the stored on the server. Here the login software prompts the user for his or her password and computes its hash, which is transmitted. But an attacker could snoop on the communication server between the client and the server. So even if he has stored the hash of the password, there are chances that the attacker may snoop on the communication server. That means he may try to get into that system by using some replay attacks. Means replay attack means it is actually attacker may get the passwords using the previous communication that was happened between the client and the server. So that is called replay attack. So the server is thus able to verify whether the client is genuine or not by checking previous response with the server. So we go for another method, that is to overcome all these problems, we go for another method, that is challenge response protocol. So let us see in the next slide how the challenge response protocol is. Next protocol you have under one-way authentication, that is challenge response protocol. So we consider here two parties, A and B. So let us see how the authentication happens in the first diagram. So A sends an identity to B. Okay. In response, B sends back a number R. R is called the random number, or we call it as nouns. Okay. R is being sent from B to A, and A now computes the function of password and the R, and this function is being sent to the party B. So knowing f of password comma R and R, it should be infeasible to compute password, and if knows are infeasible to compute